Tambo. It's like a little yam. And I remember this time of the year, well, deeper into dry season. So we're looking at January, February, March, maybe middle of March into April, at the back of my grandparents' home, my maternal grandparents, they had this growing, and the plant looks similar to ginger as well as turmeric. And this would grow down in the dirt. So you see it has the stems and everything else here. And the sort of texture and flavor and everything else is very close to that of water chestnuts. Now, you typically don't need a recipe for this. You would just clean this up, give it a good wash because it grows in dirt, and top it up with water, salt, bring it up to a boil, and you would cook it for about 25 to 30 minutes. But since it's something that, it's very rare I get it here in Canada, I had to pick it up. I was at that market. You know, if you saw the video I did with the mango and char, it's the same sort of market, the same market I got it there, and that is at the back of Dr. Flea's in North York, Toronto. On a Saturday, there's a market there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is remove all these little roots and stuff like that. I'm going to trim all of that out, give it a good wash. As I said, it's grown in the dirt, and then I'm going to put it up to boil. It's all washed and cleaned now. I know earlier I said roots, but really in reality it was more stems than everything else. There was some roots in there. It's all trimmed off, and I washed it really, really well. My heat is on high, and what I'm going to go, salt, and I like using sea salt. That's it. Water, the Topi Tambo or Topi Tambo, whatever you call it. And you know, it's funny, I'm thinking back, and I can't remember, the last time I had this, the water is still cool. We have a piece of leaf or something in there. The last time I had this was about 25 years ago. It's been that long. But I can't remember us having a nickname for it. We always have a nickname or a different name for everything. But all we're going to do now is bring that up to a boil, and then we're going to leave it on a rolling boil. Hit it to stir to get that salt all the way through, and that is it. I'm going for 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to give it an extra 10 minutes because for some reason, and it's the same for green pigeon peas, it's the same for châtaigne, breadfruit. For some reason, whenever we import stuff into Canada, I'm not sure what happens, but everything takes longer to cook. You know, even a simple thing like taro leaves or dashing bush leaves, it takes a lot longer to cook than, when we're on the islands. For some reason, something happens. Anyhow, I'm going to give it that extra 10 minutes. That's basically what I'm saying. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I'm trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pod. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie. All we need to do now is just strain it and get ready to enjoy. But I mean, this is going to be hot, so you gotta have a little bit of patience. All drained and ready. Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. All you would do now is allow it to cool. A combination of your fingers and your teeth, you'll pull back on the skin. There's a very thin skin there. But Topi Tambo or Topi Tambo, depending on how you call it. And here is an example of how I'm peeling back the skin. All I'm doing is pulling on it, pulling it back like so, and you got to discard that part. But as a kid, man, I was so lazy. Listen, I would eat the entire thing, skin and everything. That's why Mommy always made us wash it really well.